Rand Water's weeks-long major maintenance operation continues, and it is expected to affect water supply across parts of Gauteng in the coming days. Residents in Johannesburg, Tshwane, Ekurhuleni and several other municipalities have already been alerted to prepare for possible low pressure or even full outages. But many are still unsure of what to expect, how long it will last, and which areas will be affected. So let's try and answer those questions. I'm joined now by Makenosi Maroo from Rand Water to take us through all of that. Good afternoon to you, Makenosi. Just reading through some of the reports that have to do with the degree of disruption or curtailed water supply, I must say it sounds like a scary prospect. What are we looking at? Confirm for us, is it the 19 days? And if it is 19 days, is it 19 consecutive days? And what will be the effects on the water supply in the areas of Gauteng?
Thank you, Selassie, and thank you for having Rand Water on the show, and good afternoon to the listeners. I think firstly it's important for us not to panic. The maintenance is happening. It's not over a period of 18 days consecutively, so there will be a break. Actually, this is the second phase that we are undertaking. On the 29th, we started. We completed the first phase. Then we waited for the system to recover before we start with the second phase, which will start tomorrow on the 30th. So it's not as scary as people think. I think we tend to panic. Mm-hmm. We did plan for this maintenance and Rand Water, and we'll have a conversation as we go on.
Yeah. So I suppose then not panicking, but a degree of concern. And I suppose that degree of concern is based on which systems you are doing maintenance on. And a lot of people listening to it, having become familiar with which system supplies which areas, it seems to cover a lot of the areas in these municipalities. And I suppose that's where the concern comes from. Take us through the stations, the pump stations that are affected, and which areas are supplied by those.
Okay, great. Now, we have 4 systems, as you know, but 3 will be impacted. Let's start with Palmeet system. We're still going to be pumping at Palmeet, so it does not mean there will not be water at all. So people will still be getting water. It will be at a reduced pressure, so people will have water. And one would ask Palmeet, which pumping station does Palmeet supply water to? So Palmeet supply water to various areas. We're talking about city of Johannesburg. We're talking about Tshwane, Ekurhuleni, and Madibeng. So when you say Tshwane, we also need to emphasize that Garankuwa and Mabopane will be impacted. So city of Tshwane will be assisting should there be a need for them to come through with regards to water tankers.
And the other systems, talk to them, the Eikenhof and Zwartkopies stations.
Yes, yeah. Eikenhof, which is supplied by the Merridale and Waterfall reservoirs. So here we're talking about Johannesburg, we're talking about Mogale City, we're talking about Rand West, we're talking about Rustenburg, Mirafong, and you know that there are mines in the areas of Rustenburg. So those will also be impacted, but we will still be supplying water at a low pressure, but they will be impacted, let's put it that way.
Then I see that there's talk also of stations, pump stations like Zwartkopies, possibly not pumping for a complete 50 hours, not pumping at all. Will that happen, and what will be the impact of that, and in which areas?
Right. Yes, we will not be pumping from 5 o'clock tomorrow in the morning. So that's when we'll be starting with the project. So there will still be water obviously in the system. It will take time for the system to drain out or to be fully empty. So up until the 2nd of July, then we'll be done. Then the system will recover. And we are asking Zwartkopies, which area does Zwartkopies supply? This is where we're talking about Johannesburg, Rand West, Mogale City, Rustenburg, Mirafong, and mining towns around those areas. And also the Royal Bafokeng will also be impacted.
Sure. So two areas that I want to cover very quickly, Makenosi. I know that you are the bulk water supplier supplying to municipalities and their agencies, but I imagine that there's a collaboration to ensure that you cushion the impact of this work that is being undertaken. What's the conversation happening around the stopgap measures where they might be needed, where water supply is cut off altogether?
Yes. Absolutely, there is a collaboration. We are working in terms of the intergovernmental forum. So we are coming to an agreement with municipalities. In fact, we came to an agreement with municipalities and the metros that in areas where reservoirs are running completely dry, there will be water tankers. And municipalities will communicate precisely where these water tankers are. And it will be a targeted approach. We will not just have tankers all over. They will target an area where there is no water. Then tankers will be there.
And lastly then, Makenosi, this is part of your ongoing maintenance. So you did communicate upfront, right at the start, that you are taking advantage of the lower demand during these months to carry out much needed maintenance. Just tell us how that has gone and what the focus of that maintenance has been in terms of the entirety of the system.
So far, the planned maintenance is going according to schedule. As I indicated, we started on the 29th and we've achieved significant progress. I mean, we've managed to connect the B16 pipeline, which is part of the new station, which is linked to the Ekurhuleni water treatment plant. We have installed the new meter on Russell Road. We've also managed to clean a reservoir in Sasolburg. I mean, you can imagine if we say we have cleaned the reservoir, it's clean now, we are filling it with water, so we will be pumping. So a lot of work has been done. And one would ask, why are you doing such maintenance? We say we want to increase capacity. We want to ensure that our plants are always available, are always reliable, so that we are able to supply water within our network.
All right, thank you for that. I think there's absolute clarity there in terms of what to expect in the coming days. Let's see whether the plans, as they said on the tables, they translate into to reality in the various municipalities with the other role players, right, that come into the picture. That's Makenosi Maroo from Brand Water.